Ropp Star Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I am lagging like crazy right now. I don't really need any. Well, I might need some of this up here. I appreciate everyone joining. Welcome in. We already got people in here. Yeah, you see the title. Dave Canales quit playing games, make Bryce Young QB1. Let's stop playing these games, man. Let's just stop playing these games. And of course, we got the poll question of the day, which we're going to talk about that too. Should the Carolina Panthers extend J.C. Horn now? And it says, yes, he's worth the big payday. We got no, risky due to injuries. We got maybe, but only if he stays healthy. No opinion. I'm not sure about it. And we'll talk more about that. But go ahead, do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. And we're going to get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into it. Let's pull up Twitter because I need to pull up Twitter. Because I found some interesting stuff. I want to get two different views on this because we want to get I found some footage of the Bryce Young one. We have Dan Orlovsky break it down, and then we're going to watch Brian Baldinger break it down as well. I kind of want to get both of their perspectives of this game with Bryce. I want to hear what they have to say. It's going to be interesting because I think both of these guys, and I watched both videos, are going to have some different insight than you would imagine. So give me 1 second here. We already got it up. I'm just Xing out of some things here that I don't need up. And give me a second. All right. And let's see what else we got here. Let's quit that. All right. We should be good to go. Chilling, sick. I'm navigating of COVID flu. I never get sick. What the fuck? Dude, Marcos, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. Hold on. Let me maneuver this around too. Do I want to go like this? Do I want to go like this? Yeah, we'll go like this. Why not? We haven't done this like this. All right. This is Dan Orlovsky right here breaking it down. Let's see what he's got to say.
Okay, Bryce Young. Moments of improvement and moments where you still want to see consistent development. So 2 clips that are basically the same throw, good and bad, okay? So I want everyone to really focus on the feet for Bryce because that's the crux of, in many reasons, why he had his struggles. Okay, so he's going to catch the snap. You're going to see a little shuffle. Again, I don't love, that's kind of what he's always done though. But after that shuffle, he's going to get to 1, 2, 3, okay? So it's like shuffle, shuffle, gather. At least there's some form of a rhythm to his feet, okay? There's a consistent attachment to the timing of the pass concept and a beautiful crossing route. Now, I want you to see the type of ball that's thrown. It's a little bit of a kind of a firm ball. It's not floated and it's not ripped. He's cutting it loose right behind that defender, so there has to be some touch on it, okay? But again, you see that the tying of his feet to the throw. Okay, watch his feet. Again, there's that shuffle, shuffle. His shoulders stay essentially parallel to the line of scrimmage so he can see vantage point the whole field. But after this moment, it's at least to that point. It's not completely a back pedal, okay? And that's a beautiful throw. Perfect, okay? Again, I like the tempo of the football. So that's a positive development for me, all right? That's improvement development-wise for me when it comes to that. Now, you go a little.
What's up, Nick Tri-State? Appreciate it. I'm a new subscriber. Appreciate that, Nick. Appreciate it. I think I've seen you on Panthers Prime. We might have had a conversation or two on there, actually. I think I've seen you on there, but I appreciate you subscribing to my channel, man. I'm officially a Panthers. Toxic Black, why are you switching over from the Falcons to the Panthers, my guy? You can't do that. You're a ride or die Falcons fan, man. Can't do that. That's like sacrilegious. Took a hot shower, went to bed. I'm like, oh, dude. Marcos, I feel bad for you, man. I hope you feel better.
A little bit later in that half, second quarter, 5:42, you're going to see a very similar throw, very similar route concept, but it doesn't get there. And so then the question is, well, why doesn't it get there? All right, let's look at this. Shotgun, there's that shuffle, but it's a full back pedal and it never gets any type of drop. There's no type of drop attached to that. That is just, I'm catching this ball 5 yards in the shotgun, and then look where I get to. He gets to almost 12 yards of depth. I know there's a Dexter Lawrence push up the middle, but there's no drop. It's the same crosser route. It's the same.
Hold on. Let me move myself out of the way. Let's restart this video. I'm going to move myself out of the way. You might be able to get a better view. Move myself. How about that? Let me put myself down there. Let's do this again.
Okay, Bryce Young.
Because I want to
moments of
understand
improvement and moments where you still want to see consistent development. So 2 clips that are basically the same throw, good and bad. Okay, so I want everyone to really focus on the feet for Bryce, because that's the crux of, in many reasons, why he had his struggles. Okay, so he's going to catch the snap. You're going to see a little shuffle. Again, I don't love, that's kind of what he's always done though. But after that shuffle, he's going to get to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's like shuffle, gather. At least there's some form of a rhythm to his feet. Okay,
I still don't. But here's the thing. Under shotgun, this is what I don't understand. Under shotgun, I've always been the understanding for a quarterback should be a 1-step drop. So it should be hike, 1 step, boom, plant your feet, and then that's where you are. I feel like Bryce is still taking too far steps back. I mean, his footwork is not as messy as it has been, and this is a great throw here and a great play, but I don't understand. Like, even though Dan Orlovsky's saying step, because it's a 2-step drop there, but I feel like under gun, it should only be a 1-step drop. But maybe Bryce has to take 2 because he's only 5'10". I don't know, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Under gun, it's a 1-step drop. Under center, it's a 3-step drop. So,
okay, there's
I'm still learning. Like, I'm like still studying this shit.
Consistent attachment to the timing of the pass concept in a beautiful crossing route. Now, I want you to see the type of ball that's thrown. It's a little bit of a kind of a firm ball. It's not.
Yeah, but Bryce has to throw that high over this linebacker. That's why Jalen Coker is able to make the play, because he has to throw this high over this linebacker to get it to Jalen Coker. But that's something we haven't seen when Bryce is throwing over the middle of the field, is having the confidence to do that, because every time he's throwing it over the middle, guess what happens? It's an interception. So for here, I have to say he actually throws this perfectly, because he has to get it over this linebacker's head to get it over this crosser route into Jalen Coker's hands. So I agree with Dan on this one.
Floated and it's not ripped. He's cutting it loose right behind that.
Yeah, he has to throw a little touch. I mean, he still has to put some oomph on it, but he's got to throw a little touch. Basically what Dan's saying.
So there has to be some touch on it, okay?
Yep.
But again, you see that the tying of his feet to the throw. Okay, watch his feet. Again, there's that shuffle. His shoulders stay essentially parallel to the line of scrimmage so he can see vantage point the whole.
And look at this offensive line, ladies and gentlemen. This is something else he's not pointing out. Look at Cade Mays right here. You got Robert Hunt there to help, but you also got Moten over here doing his thing. Brady Christensen's got Burns. I'm assuming this is Dexter on Mays. I'm not sure. Let me see.
Field, but after this moment, it's at least to that point. It's not completely a back.
Look at Brady Christensen right here.
Pedal. Okay, and that's a beautiful throw. Perfect, okay? Again, I like the tempo of the football. So that's a positive development for me, all right? That's improvement development-wise for me when it comes to that. Now, you go a little bit later in that half, second quarter, 5:42, you're going to see a very similar throw, very similar route concept, but it doesn't get there. And so then the question is, well, why doesn't it get there? All right, let's look at this. Shotgun, there's that shuffle.
Like, this is why we got the title of today's live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Like, just like some of this improvement we're seeing right here. Like, again, this indecisiveness or whatever Dave Canales is doing for Bryce Young, like, he drags at his feet on committing to Bryce Young as the starting quarterback. Now, I look at it as a two-way street here. Either he's doing this because he's dragging his feet because he's trying to continue to have that edge and fire under Bryce Young to continue to improve and make plays like this, or or he just really doesn't trust this kid still at all. Like, Bryce Young's finally got some momentum. He's got 2 wins in the last 3 starts. He's looked most confident he has since he stepped onto the NFL field. I think there's a lot of Carolina Panthers fans that are buying in. I'm still not saying that this guy is the franchise or the future. But I also have to agree with what I'm seeing from this locker room, and I think they want Bryce to continue to start. I think this team is rallying around him because the guy continues to show resilience and grit. Yet, we have a head coach who I still continue to think overthinks shit. Same thing with his play calling. He gets way too clever with it when really he just needs to continue to run the damn ball with Chuba Hubbard. But we need to start running some more bootleg play action, RPOs, and less screen passes. RPOs are fine, but it's not so many damn screen passes. Like, Canales has yet to bring himself to give the man the starting knob beyond week 12. It's like he's still sitting on the fence looking for some reason to bring up Andy Dalton. Again, what good is it doing bringing Andy Dalton back into this? Ladies and gentlemen, like, I would love for someone to answer that question to me. What good is it doing to bring Andy Dalton as your starting quarterback once again? Because it doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. It makes no sense to me whatsoever as to why we're bringing Andy Dalton in to this situation or back onto this field. I just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I don't see the point of it. And you get to see, like, it's either Bryce Young gets to improve, right? He either improves or he shits the bed and you get the number 1 overall pick. Like, it's simple as that. Like, very simple math on this concept here. Like he says that Dave Canales says, because he was asked the other day, because the whole QB process is getting old, in my opinion. Like, he was asked if Bryce Young will start after the bye week against the Kansas City Chiefs in week 12. Canales gave the same candid answer going through a process. Yep, he's still evaluating. Apparently, he needs to gather all the information before making a call. The only thing missing is a crystal ball and some tarot cards, I guess, because Canales is saying he's analyzing the full system, and which might sound deep, but it seems like he's stalling. Like, look, we all know what Andy Dalton is at this point. He is no secret weapon waiting to be unleashed. He's 37 years old. His time has come and gone. He's a veteran who can step in, maybe winning you a game or 2, but he's hardly a long-term answer. He's not even a bridge guy. I wouldn't even consider Andy Dalton at this point a bridge quarterback anymore. After that Raiders game, Dalton got worse and worse and worse. And by that Commanders game, we saw what Andy Dalton really truly could be. I think Dalton's done at the end of this year, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see him sticking around much longer. I see him becoming maybe a coach, but again, I don't see Andy Dalton in the near future being even someone's bridge quarterback. All right. right? And so Bryce Young again, he's showing us signs, he's adapting, but putting him back on the bench now would just be a ridiculous step back. But Canales apparently is intrigued by what Dalton could bring to the team next season. The problem is Dalton's contract is up in the spring, and he'll be pushing 38 when the next season starts, ladies and gentlemen. So why does Canales seem so intent on entertaining this Dalton fantasy for 2025 when it's obvious Young is the better player right now? Is he the future? I can't say. I can't confidently say that. If Canales is even remotely serious about Dalton's potential impact, that's a giant red flag, in my opinion. Like, if the Panthers decide to pivot again on this quarterback decision, they'll just end up in quarterback purgatory all over again. It's either stick with Young or, God forbid, prepare for another season in the draft market, which I don't want to prepare myself for another season in the draft market because this team, I can tell you right now, this quarterback draft class is not very good. This next quarterback draft class is not very good, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not. You might find a sneaky guy in this, but there's no one that just stands out to me that just says, yep, that's a guy you want to build a franchise on. I just don't see it. And honestly, I think there's guys in this draft class that really would be smart to go back and stay another year. I think Jalen Milroe's one of them. I think Drew Allard's another. I think that's another. I think both of those guys need to actually go back another year. I think it would be smart for them to do that instead of going straight into the NFL. But what do I know? What do I know? And the thing is Young has earned his shot, and I think you got to give it to him at this point. It's clear that Young has the better long-term upside, right? Like, he's your rookie, sophomore / quarterback, especially compared to Dalton's predictable ceiling. Because since taking that starting role, he's looked more poised and more determined. His body language alone is worlds apart from where it was at the beginning of the season. And we're seeing it in this film right here, where he seemed to be carrying the weight of the Panthers' poor start all by himself. The team has been rallying around him, and he's got the locker room support. The idea of yanking him now for Dalton doesn't make sense to me. It's honestly insulting. I think it would be a crushing blow not only to Bryce Young's development and confidence, but you're finally settling in. This is not the time to mess with his progress. He's earned a chance to take on some big-time competition like Kansas City and see how he measures up. Like, these games are supposed to be about building this kid's confidence and consistency and a sense of ownership over this offense. And I think Canales needs to stop hovering over him like he's an over-anxious parent waiting to jump in at the first sign of trouble. Like, these mixed messages aren't helping anybody, right? You keep praising Young for his poise and his pre-snap reads and his presence, but then he's leaving the quarterback question open-ended. He's dangling the job in front of Bryce Young instead of just handing him the damn reins. The problem is the question I have to ask Dave Canales is, what's he even hoping to achieve with this? One thing this indecision accomplishes is adding unnecessary pressure and keeping Bryce Young's confidence capped, right? So Canales has Young walking on a tightrope for no good reason. And it's time he gives him the security to actually breathe, learn, and lead. What's the point of the process here? The next step for Young is to go out against the best in the league, let him take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, see what he can do under pressure. They're 9-0. They're ready to steamroll anyone in their path. With a defense that's doing most of the heavy lifting, this is Young's chance to show what he's made of. He's going to play with the expectation that he can make some mistakes and still be trusted to go back out there. If Canales really wants to evaluate anything, he needs to be evaluating Young's progress in these big game situations. Not second guessing whether Dalton could make a short-term difference. If Young holds his own, that should be this last nail in this quarterback controversy column. No more hedging, no more well evaluate. If he bombs, fine. Reassess in the offseason. Not now, in the offseason. But don't sideline the kid now when he's starting to show more promise than he ever has. Again, I'm just tired of this indecisiveness where it's wearing thin. This whole process is starting to sound like a smokescreen to just avoid giving Young a real vote of confidence. Like, I'm not necessarily saying I'm behind Bryce Young. Like, I'm going to support him. I don't think he's the future here. I don't think he's the franchise guy. But he's showing more confidence right now. And he has the more long-term upside than Andy Dalton. And all the investment that you gave up for this kid, you have to give him a chance to continue to progress. This locker room is ready to give him a chance. They have continued to support him. This back and forth is only going to hurt us long term. Again, it's just like I said earlier. He goes out there, he progresses, he develops, great. He goes out there, he shits the bed, you get the number 1 overall pick. It's a win-win situation. So it's time to quit playing games, ditch this fucking process, and let the kid have the damn job that he's earned. That's all I got to say. That's my rant for the title of the day. Like, I'm just saying, it's just to continue with him. And maybe that's true, Randall. Maybe he is. Maybe he's trying to play my games with Bryce and keep that fire lit on his ass. Fair enough. But again, I'm just saying, you can't sit him. In the end, Randall, if he wants to continue to play these Jedi mind tricks with Bryce Young to continue to light this fire up his ass, fine. But don't sit him. No matter what. Again, he shits the bed, you get the number 1 overall pick. You move up in the draft. If we lose the rest of the season at the pace that we're going, like, let's say if we lose out, right? Because this next couple of weeks, this next half of the schedule, it's tough. Like, this is where it gets down to the nitty gritty. So if, let's say, Carolina loses out, it looks like we would have the 4th pick in the draft. But again, who knows? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, we need to. I'm just saying, I'm just tired of this indecisiveness and these Jedi mind tricks. Maybe he's playing Jedi mind tricks with us. I don't know. All right, let's continue with Dan Orlovsky and we'll move on to the next video. I want to move it back just a bit.
At half, second quarter, 5:42, you're going to see a very similar throw, very similar route concept, but it doesn't get there. And so then the question is, well, why doesn't it get there? All right, let's look at this. Shotgun, there's that shuffle, but it's a full back pedal, and it never gets any type of drop. There's no type of drop attached to that. That is just, I'm catching this ball 5 yards in the shotgun, and then look where I get to. He gets to almost 12 yards of depth. I know there's a Dexter Lawrence push up the middle, but there's no drop. It's the same crosser route. It's the same. Now, look at the type of throw as well. Remember, that last throw was firm, not on a line, not on a float. This one just feels like it's in the air forever, floating, and it dies. It just dies at the end. And that's kind of where you sit there and I go, I love the improvement, number one, but watch. Just shuffle. There's nothing consistency. Like if he's in a drop here, if he gets to a drop here, I understand Dex is getting there, but then it's just like a little shuffle, step up and drive the throw. But it's this constant backing into the pocket. And that's why that ball just kind of dies there instead of getting driven. So again, there's moments of encouragement and development, no doubt. There's also examples like that where you sit there and you go, he really needs to hone in on consistent footwork in the pocket.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues I've been asking for is him when he does that. He sits there, just sits in the pocket, and he doesn't step up and makes a throw. So I agree with Dan on that play. Obviously, news, Adam Thielen is activated from the injury reserved, if you guys did not know. All right. Yeah, let's get into Mr. Brian Baldinger.
Hubbard makes the one thing the Panthers do consistently well is run the ball.
Let's hear what he has to say. So this has to do with Chuba Hubbard.
The one thing the Panthers do consistently well is run the ball. Chuba Hubbard's having a great season. This is toss crack. All right, Coker gets a down block on Brian Burns, and here comes Christensen. He gets a block. Hubbard makes Dane Belton miss. Like, he goes for 26 yards. So it was so good, they decided, well, let's run it this side. Let's get Xavier Leggett right here to down block on Burns right here. All right? And now let's get Taylor Moton out wide and let Tim get a block on Deontay Banks, and Chuba Hubbard goes for 26 more yards on the exact same play, and nobody from the Giants seems to be able to tackle anybody. All right, now you get a power pistol with Jatavian Sanders right there. Now watch him inside, because it all starts right here with Robert Hunt. Moton, look at the push right here at the point. And Chuba Hubbard's just so patient. And then he keeps breaking tackles. All right, that's a consistent factor. Watch the movement right here. Cade Mays, Robert Hunt. Like, look at the push. Robert Hunt just big on big. And, like, Schubert just finishes it. He just puts his head right in the solar plexus. 3rd and 1. Watch Sanders here on the fold block. 3rd and 1, fold. Cade Mays, fold. Hubbard breaks a tackle. Drew Phillips, he's off and running. Like 25 more yards. You get this right here. 3rd quarter, 10-7 game. They deliver a puncture wound to the Giants. Dexter Lawrence, right? Nunez Roches right there. Look at this. Look at this movement. Look at Hubbard just hugging it. Man, Mays has been great in there at center. And then can you gain a yard when you need a yard? Down on the goal line, right? Go up 17-7. Here you go. Watch Robert Hunt. Watch him snap his hips and get movement up to Okereke. Now, this is an offensive lineman celebration. This right here is priceless. Hunt just pounding the ground in glory and celebration. Like, give me a Stein when this win is in the bag. I need one. It's good stuff, man. It's just good stuff. The one thing.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. So, I mean, from that alone, it just tells me all I need to know about the investment of Robert Hunt was obviously, clearly worth it, ladies and gentlemen. It obviously was. Hold on one second, chat. Give me a second here. I need to edit something here. That's how it does it. Why does it do that though? It hides me behind there. Okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. So I just wanted to share those two videos with you. I thought those were interesting videos. See if they got any. See if he has any more for the Carolina Panthers. Oh, this is a clowny one. All right, hold on. How many more does he got? That's a Hubbard. See if he's got any more. No. Don't really want to see you in the pool, you old fart. I just want to see if he has any more film breakdown. For the Panthers, I just want to see. No? All right, cool. So we got this. I want to see what the one he said about Clowney. Hold on, let's see what he said about Clowney here. There's another one here. Okay. Here we go.
Like Jadeveon Clowney. There's a stretch here late in the second quarter when it seemed like Jadeveon Clowney made every play. Like tight ends have no chance to block him. Like his length, his athletic ability, his ability to tackle, the fun that he has playing the game. You watch him just crash this party right here. Like he's got total control of the tight end. All right? Tracy wants to go outside. You go, I go. And his length, you're not getting away from him. Like he's just so big and strong. And then this play right here. Like you watch him, he recognizes the play immediately. Like it's a bootleg, and Daniel Jones, like he swats the tight end and he sees Daniel Jones coming out. Now he's going to get right in the passing lane. He actually blocks this with his helmet. Like he didn't even get it with his hands. He blocked it with his helmet. It pops up, and here comes Xavier Woods, right? Xavier Woods with the interception. And you can see the reaction of the coach right here. What in God's name are we doing?
What in God's name are we doing? So true, man. What in God's name are we doing? All right, let's get into my next topic right here. Rookie receiving leaders for week 10 as of right now. Let me move my bum ass out the way. Hold on. As you can see, 3 of our rookies are in the top 10 rookie receiving yards. You got Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker, and Jadavion Sanders. I mean, everybody's eating in Carolina right now that's a rookie. We'll see what happens, obviously, with Adam Thielen coming back. But obviously, this is what you want to see, man. Like this is your future right here. And those 3 guys. You know what I mean? Like, you know, whether Bryce Young pans out or not, or whenever we get our real QB, whoever that may be, whoever our future guy is, he's going to come into a situation where he's going to have dudes to throw to. And there's no excuses for that because you're seeing it right now. So it's interesting to see this nonetheless. I'm not too surprised by it, but because of the production we've seen on the field, but the future looks bright. The chemistry that they're building within this locker room, and with Bryce Young right now is the reason why they're in this, you know, they're in this, right? This is why they're in the top 10. So it's great to see, especially for them to be thrown in with these guys, names like Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors. You know, it's what you wanted to see. And it's always positive to see that. Another thing I wanted to get into is this right here. And I kind of alluded to it last night. And it has to do, obviously, with the poll question of the day, right? Like, J.C. Horn's coverage skills makes his upcoming payday unavoidable. Like, let's get real about this. Like, J.C. Horn isn't just another cornerback for the Carolina Panthers. He's their secret weapon on this defense right now. Their nuclear option. And one of the few things actually going right for this franchise. With trade rumors swirling around, teams are ringing up the Panthers asking if they consider letting go of Horn. General manager Dan Morgan might have offloaded a few players in the recent rebuild frenzy, but he shut down any talk about moving Horn. Why? Because Horn's become indispensable. And if they let him go, they might as well declare bankruptcy on any hope of fixing this defense. Okay? But J.C. Horn, Carolina's he's kind of just this rare guy, rare talent that we've got here, right? I get it. And I get some of you guys are saying that his Horn's availability is a major question mark due to health. And like Tyler Collins, I get it. That has been a big issue. The Panthers aren't exactly loaded with cornerstone talent, though, ladies and gentlemen. Sure, there are a few up-and-coming players, just like the guys we mentioned, but none with Horn's proven upside. Like, Horn has been one of the only true bright spots on this roster in this defense besides Derek Brown, right? You got to turn this into a masterclass season. Like, that's what he's turning this into. Look at that. 42.9% completion rating allowed, first in the NFL among corners. That screams to me, pay me or someone else damn well will. Carolina's cupboard isn't exactly full. They can't afford to lose what little they have. And this season, it's been Horn's redemption tour. We're talking about a guy who came into the league with hype as well as an elite shutdown corner, but he couldn't stay healthy to prove it. You drafted him 8 overall in 2021. He has shown that he's got the chops. The problem is he was practically a walking injury list his first 3 seasons, suiting up only 22 times. So it's no shocking that the Panthers took a gamble, triggering his 5th-year option before he'd fully deliver. But now Horn is paying that faith back in interest right now. So keeping Horn healthy, whatever it takes, it's working. Like, whoever Horn hired to get his body right this offseason deserves a raise too, because this guy is staying healthy for the first time in his pro career. And now that he's on the field, he's locking down receivers left and right. He's obviously letting other quarterbacks know they'll have to try a different plan if they want any shot at the end zone if I'm covering your best guy. If you're unlucky enough to be the receiver lined up against Horn, you're in for a quiet game. Just ask Malik Neighbors from the New York Giants. Horn erased him last week, shut down everything that came his way. He helping the Panthers get their second straight win. Guys, this isn't just some fluke either. It's the kind of season that gives players leverage. It does. Like his play this year has put Horn in a position to demand a big contract when time comes, and that time is coming up fast. But look at the NFL's at what you've done, but you have to look at the NFL as to, like, what have you done for me lately? That's the kind of business that the NFL is. Sure, Morgan and Brant Tillis might want to lowball him, bring up Horn's injury history to argue he's a risk, but that's a loaded. That I kind of feel like it's a load of crap, and I kind of feel like you have to look at it at a bigger picture, because Horn's on the same level of guys like Jalen Ramsey, a guy that we could have taken but we picked over, Patrick Surtain, the highest paid cornerbacks in the league with an average salaries of $24.1 million a year. So if Carolina tries to pretend Horn's anything less, I think they're delusional. I actually think if you sign him now, you'll get him cheaper for that. You wait till the offseason and he plays a full season, then you try to extend him. Now, again, he might play on his 5th-year option, but again, he goes out there, balls out like this again, and stays fully healthy. You risk paying him more money and paying him those high dollars that you're talking about. That's the harsh reality here. This guy's the cornerstone, one of the cornerstone guys of our defense, and his best years are still ahead of him. He's already shown he's worth it. And if he keeps up without another injury, again, or even has a minor one, he's going to demand, again, like I said, the kind of cash that he deserves. And you can't let him go. It's simply not an option if the Panthers have any intention of getting back to relevancy. Like, you got to look at it from this standpoint. Like the take notes from that Derek Brown deal, right? All right. Dan Morgan has a blueprint here. Okay. Dan Morgan has a blueprint here. And it's one he's used recently with Derek Brown. When Derek Brown had a year left on his rookie deal, they extended him, locking him down, their best defensive lineman before things got messy. Sure, Brown's sidelined after one game this season, but the decision to pay him still looks smart. Like with Horn, the front office has the same chance to make the right move. And I think they have to act fast. Morgan has shown he's willing to reward Panthers draft picks who actually perform, and Brown got his. Chuba got paid too. It's Horn turned next. And while this front office might hope negotiations go smoothly, they should be ready for Horn's people to demand every dollar he's earned. At the end of the day, though, whatever Horn gets paid, he's earned it. He's proven he's one of the best corners in the league. It's not like top-tier talent grows on trees for Carolina right now. So the Panthers front office, don't drag this out. Don't play games. For the love of football, don't be cheap. The price for Horn is only going to go up. All right? That's all that's going to happen. So you got to keep it going up. Yep, that's right, Marcos. Sign Horn. Yep. I do get everybody's concern about it, but again, you take of his injury history, but you take a chance. You could sign him now and extend him now for cheaper. You can sign him now for cheaper. And you need to sign him now. Or if he goes out there, plays on his 5th-year contract, stays healthy again, that contract's going to be paying like you're paying Jalen Ramsey and Patrick Surtain, that $24 million. But you might be able to get him cheaper now and save you a couple dollars, save you a couple million. I'm just saying. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, let's get, you know what? Let's get into, so another thing I want to talk about is this quarterback draft class. We had a lot of discussions yesterday. We had a lot of discussions yesterday about this quarterback draft class. So I kind of want to break down each and every individual with some basics that I have, kind of some basic notes that I've kind of taken from watching some of these guys. All right. So I kind of want to break these guys down, each and every individual. And honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, y'all are going to be pretty shocked about what I have to say about some guys and some of these upcoming guys that I want to talk about. So let's get it. All right, let's get it here. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull up a draft class here, because I want to talk about the quarterbacks, and I want you to get. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of this quarterback draft class. All right, because I think that we need to have a better understanding, and I think everybody here needs to have a better understanding of each and every one of these guys. All right. Hold on 1 second. Forgot to give a quick shout out to Zero to Hero becoming a YouTube member today. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you becoming a member today. Shout out to Zero to Hero for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate you, man. it goes a long way. You don't even know. So I appreciate you, man.
And his name is John C.
Appreciate you. Shout out to Zero to Hero. Dom comes in and smash that like button. All right, let's get into this QB. Let's get into this QB draft class. Let's go look at these scrubs, because really I'm not a fan of this upcoming draft class. I'm really not. Let me I'm going to pull it up here shortly. I'm over here now. 2025 quarterback draft class. You know, yeah, we'll use this one. All right. What do the D linemen look like in this draft class? Thaddeus, this is a massive draft class for defensive linemen. This is a massive draft class for defensive linemen. I'll tell you that right now. It's a massive draft class for defensive linemen. All right. Now, when I go through this draft class, ladies and gentlemen, this is in no particular order. Okay? This is in no particular order. Robstar, where's Xavier Howard? We could sign him as a veteran with JC also. As of right now, he's still out there in the free agent market. He's in the free agent market. Only QB I consider if Drew Aller was there in the early fourth. I've seen Drew Aller fall to the fifth round on PFFs. We need Mason Graham. We definitely do. But in the position that we're in, because right now we have the 10th pick in this upcoming NFL draft class. As of right now, based off of PFF, it would be very difficult to get Mason Graham at this point. Okay. To get Mason Graham at this point, it would be very difficult to get him. Honestly. All right. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up these. This draft class. Hold on one second. Let's not waste our time with QB. Well, Randall, I want to do them all. I want to do all positions. Okay, so today we're going to do the quarterbacks. And trust me, there's going to be more content. We're going to talk about a lot of players, stuff like that. So, 10th pick is a sweet spot for Abdul. Yeah, we would be stupid to make another crazy trade up. We would be stupid to make another crazy trade for Mason Graham. We need depth, not the only player. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying trade up. I'm just saying the 10th pick, you're not getting Mason Graham. You could get you might be able to get Abdul Carter at a 10th pick, but I don't know. I think Abdul Carter is the best. I think he's the best pass rusher in this draft class. But him going at 10 actually seems more likely than you would think, based off of what I've seen from other mock drafts. If you go on 33rd team or you go look up a mock draft, see where Abdul Carter falls a lot of the time. He's in between that 10 and 15 range. A lot of mock drafts have him around that range, even top 20. I've seen him fall to 20 and 21 in some other mock drafts. So don't be surprised if Abdul Carter, if we stayed at 10, is there at number 10. I'm just saying. A lot of people are higher on Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. I'm not. Another guy that's a sleeper in the second round. And this is, I'm not trying to be biased, but Kyle Kennard out of South Carolina is a dog. So you might be able to get a defensive lineman. If you can't get Mason Graham, you have a chance to get Kenneth Grant out of Michigan and then go get Kyle Kennard in the second round. That'd be a good start to rebuilding that defense. I'm just saying, if you can't get Mason Graham, which if you're at number 10, you're not getting Mason Graham. I'll tell you that. All right. 2025. Let's pull this bad boy up. 2025 quarterback draft class. And let's start off with Shador. Let's just start. God dang, man. Do y'all have enough ads on the damn thing? I've never seen so many ads on a website in my life. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking hell, man. We might have to use a different one. This thing taking way too long. We'll go with PFF. Fuck it. I wanted one with like the NFL Draft Buzz. I love. We might go with PFF. Go with PFF. Fuck it. All right, NFL Draft. We'll just go to big board. And we'll go by position. So we'll go with quarterbacks. All right. So based off of PFF, actually, we'll just go based off of what PFF order has. Don't worry, Ropp. Go on Jerkmates and they Chance the Fapper. Chill, bro. Chill. That's ridiculous. There's no reason for that. Oh my God, that's too funny. Jerkmates. I can't believe you just said that. All right, Jalen Milroe. Well, let's start with him. Let's start with Jalen Milroe. This is really in no particular order. Listen, here's the current status of Jalen Milroe. All right. He's playing lights out. All right. Chat, hold on. I gotta do this.
Gay.
I had to hit him with that. But that shit is hilarious. Oh my God. That is too funny.
He needs some milk.
That's too funny, man. That is too funny. It deserved all of that. Or maybe it deserves this. Too funny. Too funny. Well, Dom, this is no particular order. I'm just going based off of what the based off of what PFF has him. PFF has him as the fifth. Actually, they have him as the number one quarterback. Then they got Cam Ward. Then they got Shador. Then they got Garrett Nussmeier. Then they got Carson Beck. Then they got Quinn Ewers, Miller Moss, Connor Wiegman, Drew Allard, Kyle McCord, Jackson Dart, Jalen Daniels, Riley Leonard, Graham Mertz, Noah Fatia. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Dylan Gabriel, Cade Klubnik, Brady Cook, Donovan Smith, KJ Jefferson, and DJ Shitbird, because that's what he is. He's a shitbird. I like Milroe. I wouldn't mind if he fell to. Listen, I'm going to say this. This is a guy with all the tools, right? He's got all the tools. Like, he's playing lights out right now for Alabama, okay? but it's mostly with his legs. Dual threat freak. The kid can run when he wants to. He can throw lasers downfield. Arguably the most toolsy guy in this draft class, if that makes sense. Okay? But here's his weakness. His accuracy is a mess, especially on touch passes. So his ball placement's all over the place. I think if Milroe is smart and he wants to come and become a first overall pick and play like a first overall pick, he needs another year to really polish his throwing skills. I think that Jalen Milroe would be smart to stay another year. Like he's looking like a mid to late first round pick, but if he doesn't fix the consistencies that we're seeing from him, he's going to end up getting overdrafted and he's going to get buried on some depth chart. I'm telling you this now. If Jalen Milroe is smart, he stays another year. He stays another year. All right. Cam Ward seems to be all Carolina Panthers fans' favorite, man. Seems to be everyone's favorite. Hold on. Let me move me real quick. Put myself right up here. All right. I probably could make myself a little bit bigger now. Sure could. Sure can. I sure can. I sure can. I can make myself just a little bit bigger. Let's hit save. All right, perfect. Okay. I moved myself out of the way there. So you got Cam Ward here. Here's the thing, man. Some have him as QB1 in this draft class. I have him as probably my third favorite quarterback in this draft class. I have him as my third as of right now. I have him as my third favorite quarterback in this draft class. Okay. I actually have Jalen Milroe as my fifth. Actually, no, my fourth favorite quarterback in this draft class. Believe it or not. Now, Cam Ward. So his recent performance against Georgia Tech. These are his stats. Last game, 25 out of 39, 348 yards, 3 touchdowns, and adjusted completion rate of a 72.2%. So, yeah, he can ball out. All right, he can ball out. His strengths is his playmaking ability. All right. He's tied for first in the country with 25 big-time throws. Strong arm, smart decision maker, doesn't fold under pressure. Weakness, he's got 13. The problem is this guy's got 13 turnover-worthy plays. Okay? This year. So that's got to change. Another thing with him, sometimes his footwork looks like a drunken dance partner. It does. Dude needs to chill, not force throws when there's an easy check down, because he always seems to try to take that bigger shot, tries to play hero ball too much sometimes. Top 10. Here's the thing. My draft projection for him is he's top 10. Okay. He's top 10 if he cleans up the turnovers, sharpens up his decision making. Otherwise, he's a mid to late first round at best. All right. Let's talk about Shedeur. You're not going to like what I got to say about Shedeur. I can tell you that right now. You're not going to like what I have to say about Shedeur. I'm not a Shedeur Sanders fan. I have Shedeur Sanders as not as my number one. I like him. Nah, I'm just kidding. Shedeur is my number one. Believe it or not, Shedeur Sanders is my number one quarterback. Okay, actually, Shedeur Sanders is my number one quarterback. Am I a big believer in Shedeur Sanders? No, I don't believe in this draft class. I really don't. But Shedeur Sanders is the best. I'm eating my words on this. So right now, and I'll tell you my top 10. Shedeur Sanders is number 1. Dylan Gabriel's number 2. Will Howard's number 3. Drew Allen's number 4. Quinn Ewers is 5. Then at 6, I got Garrett Nussmeier. 7, I got Jalen Milroe. 8, I have Cam Ward. 9, I have Jackson Dart. And 10, I got Carson Beck. That's my order. All right, so here's the thing. I went back, did some research on all these guys, rewatched some film, okay? Shedeur Sanders, baby cheddar, he's the top dude quarterback in this class for a reason. All right, he does have it all, but he hasn't played a big elite defense. He hasn't. Like, he's putting up solid performances week in and week out. Accuracy's there. Decision-making is there. He's got great touch. He's got great accuracy. The kind you see in the NFL, his anticipation, his pocket presence are top-notch. I would say think about Joe Burrow, like. All right? The problem is that I know, Randall, but here, you got to hear me out. Yes, I've been screaming about Jackson Dart for 3 months, but he's also a guy I think needs to stay another year. Listen, the biggest knock I have about Shedeur Sanders is this. Is that his biggest knock is his ceiling. He's not quite as physical gifted as some of the others. That's my thing. Like, occasionally he drifts in the pocket, takes sacks. He shouldn't. He's a late first-round pick, in my opinion, maybe even top 20. But he's the most pro-ready quarterback in this draft class. There's a difference between what I was screaming about Jackson Dart. There's a difference. Do I think that Shedeur Sanders is going to be a Carolina Panther? Hell no. That would never, ever happen. Because his father wouldn't allow it. But when I look at him and I went back and did my homework, Shedeur Sanders is the most pro-ready quarterback in this class, though. Mad Chatter, we'll talk about the edge group later on. All right, next up. Let's talk about Dylan Gabriel, my second best quarterback, I think, in this draft class. I don't like his size, but he is the second best. I mean, they got him listed as 6 foot, but I don't know if he's exactly 6 foot. You'd have to look me up on that. Dylan Gabriel, Kansas State's guy, or Oregon guy, but sorry, I think he played Kansas State. He's a bit of a wild card for me, Dylan Gabriel. Randall Griffin, I think right now for Shedeur, he's a top 20 pick. He's probably a top 20 pick. He's a late first round pick, maybe, like I said, maybe even top 20. But Dylan Gabriel, he's my second favorite, or at least in my opinion, he's the second best in this draft class. His recent performance, 23 of 34, 183 yards, 3 touchdowns. Really nothing to write home. Guy's got a quick release. He's got a solid arm, elusive with his legs. He can make plays when things break down. The problem is he's only 6 foot tall. NFL scouts are going to hate that same way, but they didn't really hate it with Bryce Young, which doesn't make sense to me. So downfield throws are inconsistent for me. He struggles to process the field a lot. He's a day 3 pick unless the team really likes his mobility and if he's a system fit. All right. That's the way I look at Dylan Gabriel. I wish I could find. I don't know. I wouldn't say Will Howard. Obviously, Will Howard is not in this draft class. Trying to see if I can pull him up, but I wanted to talk about Will Howard. I don't know if I can. I'm going to have to use ESPN for this one. Let me move. I'm going to have to use ESPN for this one. Let me move myself over here real quick. Hold on 1 second here. All right, so Will Howard. This is another guy. Will Howard, Ohio State starting quarterback. What has he done lately? Really nothing crazy, okay? But he's solid. Recent performance, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown against Purdue. Not bad. Dude is athletic as hell. He can throw and run. High completion percentage, 79%. Damn good. Pretty damn good. Weakness, I put down that his pass placement can be off. I feel like it can be off at sometimes. Deep balls aren't his friend. At 24 years old, he's a little older than most, which means less room to grow. He's possibly, if he comes out, and I think he has to come out if I'm not mistaken, he's a day 3 guy, maybe even a developmental project for a team, obviously to hope and fix his consistencies. All right. So Will Howard. Let's go back to PFF. Find my guy, Drew Allard. Let's go back to Mr. Drew. I'll move myself back here. We're doing a lot of maneuvering here. I'm maneuvering around it all. Hold on here. Whoop. And then whoop. Hit save. Update layout. Actually need to edit that. Hold on. Hit save. All right, there we go. I had to update my layout. Wait. Why am I so high up there? Come down just a little bit. There we go. That should be good. Now that's better. Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Where do I watch college game film? Apparently, and I just found out about this the other day, you can get all 22 film. It's available to watch on YouTube TV. So I found that. So I was able to find that. And you also can find videos called, it's on all 22 as well. You can find it on there. There's a thing called all 22. You can find a lot of stuff. You just got to do your research. I just try to find shit. Chance the Rapper. I just look up shit. I look up on Google and see what I can find. Sometimes you can get free stuff. I'm trying to find one that's more consistent, like how the NFL package is, or like with the NFL. So I just kind of go back and rewatch games that way. So that's how I kind of watch college tape. That's the best way I can do it right now. So, but there's obviously college. I've been searching for something like an NFL package, like with the NFL Plus, trying to find like college football plus things. Yeah, I remember I watched Avengers. Chance the Rapper. What the fuck? All right. Chance the Rapper is on one today, man. Chance the Rapper is on one. Wow. All right, Drew Allard, Penn State guy. Obviously, his numbers are solid right now. Not flashy. 20 his recent performance, he had 28, 220 yards, 1 touchdown. His strengths, he's got a cannon for an arm, can move. I like what I see for him. Obviously, he's the prototypical style quarterback. Did you see in the NFL from Drew Allard? Good decision making, doesn't take unnecessary risks. The problem is with him, he plays a little too conservative. He's not a gunslinger. All right. He doesn't sling down the field like you would want him to. Okay. Needs better weapons around him, in my opinion, to really showcase what he can do. If he gets another year under his belt, he could be a top 5 pick in 2025. For now, I see maybe late first or early second rounder. But the problem is Drew Allard, I've seen him, like if I've done a PFF mock draft, he's there in the 4th round. I've even seen him fall to the 5th. So, and they've got him ranked on here. Wait, let me go back to this. I mean, they've got him ranked as the 107th, which out of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they've got him ranked as the 9th best quarterback. I've got him ranked as the 4th. My 5th best quarterback is Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is my 5th best quarterback. Carson Beck is my least favorite quarterback in this draft class. That's why we started. I don't know if I talked about him yet, but Quinn Ewers. All right. He's coming off his best game yet this year, since returning from that injury. Not that it matters, but this dude, I think he does have some serious talent. He went 19 of 27, I think it was. 333 yards, 5 touchdowns. He showed up. His arm is a cannon. Deep ball looks good, even if his accuracy isn't always on point. To me, he keeps improving, and when he's on, he's on. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in his draft class when he's actually on. The weakness is, though, is that he's inconsistent, especially on intermediate to downfield throws. He has some missed opportunities. I could see him. Honestly, I could see him. I mean, he's definitely in the QB1 conversation, but he's not the top guy in this class. Because sometimes he just doesn't seem to that he can hit the big moments. Does that make sense? Like, injury history is a concern for me. You get out a clavicle sprain and then an abdominal injury. Those aren't really no jokes. But again, in the QB1 conversation, he's not the top guy in this class. He may be a mid first round unless something crazy happens. unless something crazy happens. Garrett Nussmeier. All right. Another guy that I'm interested. It's interesting with this. LSU starting quarterback. So far, not doing a great job of proving he's ready for the NFL. Last 2 games, he's had 57.4% adjustment completion rate. Struggle with turnovers when pressured. Solid arm talent. No one's questioning his ability to make NFL level throws. When things are calm and collected, he can look like a future starter. Problem is when the pressure turns on him, he folds like a cheap tent. Like, I mean, it's bad, and he becomes a turnover machine. So he can't handle high pressure situations, and that is the consistency that you need to see from a quarterback, and you don't see for him. So if he gets his head on straight, he's got first round potential, but right now, I'd say he's a day 2 guy. You got to hope from here on out that he cleans up his act. All right. We already talked about Jalen Milroe, Cam Ward. Let's get to Jackson Dart. I know I've harped on him a little bit. I have him as my 9th best quarterback. And there's a reason for that because I went back and did some homework. I do believe in this kid. I think he's still, listen, here's the thing about Jackson Dart. At one point, this guy to me was a first round draft pick. First overall. I know, and I know that Randall Griffin's giving me shit. You were like, Clay, you've been harping on it, but I have to go back and do some homework. This college football season isn't over with, so we'll see. And he had a hell of a performance against Georgia, right? Yeah, I already talked about Will Howard. But now after some recent events and me going back and do some homework, I think I need to see more. Like right now, he obviously the stats don't lie. I mean, look at the stats. 70% completion rating. He's got over 3,400 yards, 22 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a passer rating of a 127.3, 6'2". I think he's around 215. He had 6 touchdowns against Arkansas, but then he comes back from an ankle injury against Georgia and basically wins them that game. But it was more, I felt like, on the Ole Miss defense that actually stepped up in that game too. But also Carson Beck, which we'll get to him because I think he's the worst quarterback in this draft class, in my opinion. Here's the thing about Jackson Dart. He has a rocket of an arm and a quick release. And he's not afraid to take shots, and he's got some grit. But accuracy is inconsistent on deep throws. That's where Jackson Dart kind of gets alludes to it from it. Because in this offense that Lane Kiffin runs, it's a lot of RPO, quick screens, which I get it. It's a RPO heavy offense. It's cute in college, but it doesn't translate well in the NFL. So that's where actually decisions matter for me. All right. He's hitting, and another thing is he's only hitting about 48.9% on those downfield attempts, and NFL defenses are going to eat him alive with that. All right. I expect him to be a day 2, but don't be shocked if he falls further, if his inconsistencies continue. So I'm just giving you my thoughts, and I had to go back and do my homework. All right. The problem, like I said, the only problem the problem I have with Jackson Dart is his deep ball accuracy and the offense that Lane Kiffin runs there. It's a RPO heavy offense, and it does not translate well in the NFL. And that could also be the reason why Matt Corral didn't work out. So because of the style Lane Kiffin runs. But, I could be wrong. And then last but not least, the worst quarterback in this draft class is Carson Beck. I'm sorry. I don't believe in Carson Beck. I don't think he's that good. I think once considered a solid backup. Now some are calling him a QB1. Yeah, okay. Last game against Ole Miss, he went for 186 yards, 1 interceptions, 2 fumbles. To top it off, his receivers dropped 19 passes this season. So I have to kind of give him some leeway there because that's an 8.3% drop rate. So it's not all on him, but that's still a shit show. I think that here's the things that Carson Beck does do good. Solid decision maker. Keeps his cool in the pocket. Well, let's not get carried away. Another thing is weakness. I think the reason why we're seeing the drops in his receivers is the fact that he doesn't have chemistry with them. He doesn't have great chemistry with them. Decision making can be questionable. 17 turnover worthy plays this season. Arm streak, it's okay. Mobility, it's okay. There's not a lot that just jumps out to you from Carson Beck, in my opinion. Like, he's a 3rd round pick, and that's me being generous. Like, I don't expect him to be a franchise guy unless he miraculously puts it all together. So, right now, my number 1 quarterback is Shedeur. Dylan, number 2. Will Howard, 3. Drew Allard, 4. Quinn Ewers, 5. Garrett Nussmeier, 6. Jalen Milrose, 7. Cam Ward, 8. Jackson Dart, 9. Carson Beck, 10. I had to go back and do my homework, ladies and gentlemen. So that's where I stand as of right now. Now, this could change. There's still a lot of time in this college football world for me to change that draft order. I can tell you that right now. I could change that draft order real quick. But that's what I'm seeing from right now, at least from my standpoint. So we'll do another position group another day. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. Remember, don't forget to become a member today. Also, don't forget to go check out the NFC South Roundtable tonight, live, 7 p.m. EST. I appreciate everyone in here. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Appreciate everyone continue to show your support. Remember, just do these 3 things. And also, don't forget to check out Roundtable.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST, the AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST, the NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST, the AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST, the NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports, real coverage from real fans.
So again, appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Don't forget to go check out the NFC South Roundtable tonight, 7 p.m. EST. Appreciate you guys. As always, 3 things. Have fun. Be safe. Keep pounding. Peace.